Hello and welcome to XOMO. Please excuse my camera setup. I'm trying some new things, but this will be the final episode of the Tarot and Self-Care series where I go through the tarot and explain to you how specific tarot cards relate to your self-care practice or how your tarot message may be telling you to take care of yourself, right? If you haven't caught part 1 and 2 of the video, make sure you catch those. I'll leave a link or something where you can run over to those. But yeah, let's just go right ahead and get started. So first up, we have the Three of Cups. This is the card of... The Three of Cups, this is the card, it's threes, it's collaborations, and it's people pouring good emotions into you, right? So if the Three of Cups comes up, this could be allowing other people to pour support, positive emotions, maybe going out with your girlfriends or your guy friends or whoever your closest friends are, and just expressing yourself, right? And allowing people to pour positive emotions into you, and maybe even doing that in return in those other people. If you ever see this card in reverse, that could be a sign, you know, to maybe not spend so much time with a certain group of friends. Find yourself some alone time. Again, if you see the Hermit card as well, pull yourself away from your friends, you know what I mean? You just probably need some alone time. Don't surround yourself with people all of the time. Find some time to get in tune with yourself, right? After that, we have the Four of Wands. This is the card of like family. So you might see the Three of Cups and the Four of Wands come up together when it's like, spend some time with your family members, family and friends, you know, Three of Cups, Four of Wands, family and friends. But this could also be a celebration. Sometimes the Four of Wands is about having a celebration of a certain kind. Sometimes it comes up with like vacations or weddings or some type of like family reunion where there's a joyous gathering with people that you really love, that type of thing, right? That'll take us into the Sun card. If you ever see the Sun card is telling you to have some fun, right? It's purely the things that light us up, that give us joy, that make us happy, that make us feel sometimes like childlike. This could be a sign to talk to your inner child, which correlates with the Page of Cups as well. Excuse me, or at least I get the Page of Cups many times when we're talking about our inner child. The traditional Rider-Waite Sun card has a baby on it, which is why sometimes it's connected to childlike, inner child, babies type of thing. This could also be a sign to spend time with your babies or your children, which will also bring us to the Six of Cups, which is the same thing. The Six of Cups is also about memories in the past, but when doing self-care, the children that are notated on the Six of Cups, usually I see that as another sign. It's like spending time with your inner child. Six of Cups, Page of Cups, you know what I mean? But this could also be giving an offering to children. You know, this could be babysitting, teaching, you know what I mean? Or just, again, just spending some time with actual children. It can be very, very rewarding, right? Okay, up next, we have the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords reminds me of my tarot astrological resource. Please check my description bar for that resource. It's coming up pretty soon, where I give you a complete astrological breakdown of all the cards in the tarot, what planets rule them, the subplanetary rulers, and what zodiac signs correlate with each of those cards. If that resource is not available, run over to momagics.com where you can subscribe to my emailing list so that you'll get a notification once that free resource is available. But back to the Three of Swords, this is Saturn and Libra energy. And I say that specifically because this is self-care, but it never feels that way, right? So the Three of Swords is oftentimes related to being mature or making the wisest decision. Yes, the most mature decision, and it's Saturn. Saturn is rules, it's boundaries, it's hard work, it's structure, it's labor, it's things that you do for the long haul, right? That's why we talk about these things with our Saturn return. But it's in the sign of Libra. Libra is comfort, it's love, it's exciting, it's partnership, it's everything that feels beautiful and lush and cozy, you know, and diplomatic about the world, right? But when these two energies come together, it's kind of like a sacrifice, right? It's like I have to let go of this thing, you know what I mean, so that I can invite something better into my life. An example for me, I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable. I used to like struggle with drug addiction, right? The Three of Swords would come up many times when I would, you know, as just like, you know, if you would stop drinking and using, you know, like recreational drugs, you know what I mean? These things that make you feel good, that you're definitely having a good time with, but you know aren't for your highest and greatest good in the long term. And something else I do want to say with this card is that making the good decision does not always feel good. All of our good decisions do not feel fun. They aren't always what we want. But again, that's that Saturn energy. You know you need to do this. In some instances, you have to do this, but it's not going to feel like you want to give this thing up, right? After that, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is about taking things slow and building healthy habits when it comes to our self-care, right? This can kind of fit into everything, you know what I mean? Especially when we're talking about self-care. This could be start building your self-care habits. This could be stop rushing. If you ever see maybe the Eight of Wands in reverse, or the Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords. These are some of those faster, quickie, and like hurrying cards. If you see those cards in reverse, followed by the Nine of Pentacles, that's definitely a sign to slow down, take your time. But again, like I was saying before, whenever I see the Nine of Pentacles, when it's referring to like the energy of self-care, it's getting started on a project, an idea, building healthy habits that you might not already have. You know what I mean? So that they can grow and develop, and also not expecting perfection in the beginning. You know what I mean? Nine of Pentacles, it's very slow and steady wins the race. You start small, you have this snowball effect where the thing that you're working on, it grows, it blooms, and it pays off in a high quality product in the end, right? The Empress card. This can connect to many things. This can connect to all of the queens that I spoke about in part 1 of this video. Or this can also connect to, I would say, the Three of Cups, and even some of these, the Page of Cups and the Six of Cups. Again, use your intuition. But the Empress card, and this also connects to some of the things I talk about in part 2, right? Because she's the queen. She's like, the Empress is the queen of all queens. And she has the best self-care practice because she truly knows how to embody all of them, right? So this is, and even when we look at this card, I'm not sure if you can see it, but she is sitting on this cushy window seat looking at nature outside. She's resting, she's relaxing, she feels like self-care, right? She's taking her time, and this could be a call to like surround yourself in nature, you know what I mean? Or to take it slow, or to be very emotional. In a lot of my tarot readings, when we see the Empress card, especially if she's in reverse, this could be a sign to ask for help, to not try to be too masculine, to not do it on your own, to ask for help and be allowed to receiving help and assistance, right? This is also following your intuition and being vulnerable with your emotions. You know what I mean? The Empress, she's the queen of the emotions. She knows the perfect way to express them, you know, to get what she needs on the receiving end, right? So, and something that's really like, because this is just a lesson I needed to learn today, but share your emotions and be vulnerable. You know, we don't talk about it often enough, but that is an excellent form of self-care. When we share our emotions, you might even see this with the Knight of Cups, right? Having that vulnerable emotional offering, getting that emotional conversation started where you truly express how you feel. You get something off of your chest, wearing your heart on your sleeve, because we are emotional beings, and when we live an emotional lifestyle, we can take those emotions, you know what I mean, and transmute them to getting our needs met. Right? Up next, we have the Six of Wands. This is the card of like celebration, accolades, recognition. You know what I mean? If you ever see this card in reverse in terms of like self-care, you know, the energy of self-care, this could be when you're not receiving your flowers or giving them to yourself. You know what I mean? Giving yourself a pat on the back, telling yourself good job, saying you really rock that, you had a good day, let's try to do it again tomorrow. You know what I mean? I think that's something we forget about often, is giving ourselves positive reinforcements. Yeah, I have another video on this. I'll maybe tag this in the video. But yeah, and this is probably one of my favorite forms of self-care, is just talking to myself and giving myself a pat on the back and recognizing all that I do and all that I'm capable of doing, even if it's just the small things. You know what I mean? Even if it's just going outside and taking a walk, even if it's just eating 3 meals a day, even if it's just taking my vitamins. Giving yourself those reinforcements and those words of self-care will actually reinforce that energy. That's a Nine of Pentacles healthy habit that we're building. You know what I mean? So that these healthy habits and these self-care habits can continue to happen, right? Up next, we have the Five of Wands and the Strength card. Now, many people are like, what does this have to do with self-care? But this is something also that I did today. We don't talk about it, but challenging yourself, right? Every day we have the opportunity to experience something new, and I really do feel that like people forget how valuable it is to be able to challenge yourself and to step out of your comfort zone. Because every day we want more, or we want something different, or we should be here to learn something new or to have a new experience. You know what I mean? Every day on this earth is a gift, and there's something new in that energy, right? So if you ever get too comfortable, do not stay in your comfort zone, right? The Five of Wands is about proving yourself and showing to other people that you can do it. This is the card of competition. So just getting out there, sometimes it's also related to sports. You know what I mean? So if you ever need to like exercise or get like active in your body, this card would pop up because this is the card of competition and physical activity. And then the strength card, right? This is the card of quiet confidence, like saying, I know I can do this. I can definitely do this. I got this. I have nothing to worry about. It's not as competitive as the Five of Wands, but it's in the traditional Rider way, it's this young woman holding or like coddling a lion. You know what I mean? She's not wrestling, she's not forcing the lion, but she holds the lion because she has that confidence, that quiet strength that's reinforcing her, you know what I mean, through what endeavors she may find. Yes? Okay, and last but absolutely not least, we have the Five of Cups and the Death card in reverse. Let's start with the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups, this is Mars and Scorpio energy. And even in like reversal, I would say this card is kind of like letting it go and not feeling sorry with yourself. You know what I mean? Sometimes I see the Five of Wands paired with the Five of Cups. If you see the Five of Cups and the Five of Wands, this pairing to me is like, stop feeling sorry for yourself, stop boo-hooing, give yourself a pat on the back, get out there, you know, reclaim your power and become the person you want to be. But back to the Five of Cups, right? The Five of Cups, this is the card of like grief, sorrow, sadness, you know, sometimes depression. You know what I mean? And depression is a thing that, you know, get a therapist or, you know, talk to your clinical professional. But it's emotional sorrow. You know what I mean? It's heavy emotions that actually require a type of transformation, right? So where you take those emotions and you learn something from them and you transmute them into like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger type of thing, right? So when we deal with some of these heavy emotions like sorrow, grief, loss, sadness, what the Five of Cups could be telling you to do, especially when we're talking about self-care, is to learn a lesson. All of our emotions are here to guide us into learning something about ourselves, about our soul's journey and our life's lesson, right? So when you see the Five of Cups, make sure that you, again, don't try to rush past those hard emotions. Some people will be like, you know, you have two other cups. You know what I mean? Be thankful for those two cups. And I do think it's important to be thankful for what you have to invite more of that energy into your life, right? But do not try to skip over feeling the feelings. Sometimes with the Five of Cups, you just have to feel the feelings. You can't move over it. You can't make sense of it. You can't, you know, you can't think your way out of it, you know, that hanged man feeling again, but you just have to feel the feelings. And once you feel the feelings, you'll have this emotional epiphany or this understanding about how you're going to stop this situation from happening again or what the lesson was. Yeah? And then that's also kind of the same thing with the Death card, right? When we see it in reverse, usually this is something that we don't want to let go of. This is an uncomfortable emotional feeling that we're sitting with, that we're wrestling with. When we see the Death card in reverse, it's saying let it go. This needed to be let go quite some time ago. And when we allow things to die, they can be transmuted into something else. And even kind of like this card, it's like the death of the phoenix, you know what I mean? Ashes and then rising again. When things die, that's the alchemy process that gives birth to something new, kind of like that. This is also Scorpio energy, right? I think that's it for the Death card. Yeah, Death card can also be associated with the ego death, which I do think is a form of self-care. And just the fact that like we all go through a certain ego death and we cannot be the same person for the rest of our life. I honestly believe, you know, this don't have to be your ministry, but I honestly believe if you're the same person throughout all the stages of your life, you just definitely haven't grown, and there's definitely some growing to do, right? So allow these versions of yourself to die so that a new version can be born and new things in your life can be welcomed in. Yes? Alrighty, friends, that concludes my self-care series here on YouTube. Don't forget to run over to momagics.com where I have my private readings available. Additionally, do check out that astrological free tarot resource where I will break down, I'm sorry, there's something in my eye, where I will break down all of the astrology with all of the tarot cards. That's all. If you find any value out of this video, please leave me a comment in the comment section. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you would like more videos like these. If there's anything else you would like to know about the tarot or herbs or hoodoo or whatever it may be, please let me know. I'm really looking to engage with you guys and just give you some content that you're looking for. Yeah, that's all I have for you. And until next time, this is XMO. Bye.